Hey, welcome to the podcast. So, last time I was talking about how YouTube was sending me this weird email on how I was being kicked out of the YouTube partner program, and they were basically inconclusive in their responses. Like, some of the team members said, "Don't worry, everything is fine." And then the YouTube Twitter team, who were a little bit more bitchy, they said, "Oh, well, we don't know, if you don't have enough watch hours, you're probably being kicked out because of that, And they were basically like, "Well, you always have to comply to the rules anyway, and if you don't for one day, then fuck you." And so I was like, okay, fuck me then. Bad for me, I guess. Let's just wait and see. And then I waited for a month until July 11th came up, and that was the due date for me being terminated from YouTube partner program. Which is funny because around that day my channel was really growing again and I was about to hit 3K subscribers. My watch time was way above 4,000 watch hours again. So I thought maybe, just maybe, it's gonna be fine, Maybe they just check that like automatically or something. I mean, you don't know shit about how YouTube does things, so I don't know. And then July 11th was over and I thought, okay, maybe different time zone, maybe they will gonna demonetize my channel tomorrow. Let's just wait. And then I waited and I waited another day. And it was July 13th, I think, and I got another email while my YouTube partners tab was still there, channel fully monetized and everything. So I got an email that told me basically, well, you have been removed from the YouTube partner program. Goodbye, you can reapply in 90 days. We will still take your ad money though. You can still upload, hustle, and just do your YouTube things. And thank you so much for being a part of our community. We really care about you. Yeah. I feel like you care about me, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. So I read the email. Mind you, that was the day I hit 3,000 subscribers. I was really happy about that, and 5 seconds later, I got this other email. That was, by the way, 3 days late, because, I should have been kicked out by 11th. So I was wondering, my channel still monetized now? Looking at my YouTube Studio app, looking at my channel, looking at the browser version of it, nothing had changed. Channel still monetized. I don't know. So what do? First of all, just being paranoid, of course. Second of all, I opened a chat window to talk to YouTube support. And they could actually see my email. They could also log into my channel, look at my channel, and they again checked my agreements, and then they told me, well, this was just a generic email. We sent this to everyone because I don't know why they send it to everyone, but I've been told this 3 times now. So I asked, like, really? Literally? Everyone? And they said, well, if there's nothing in it about specifically your channel with your channel URL or something, then you're fine. It's just a generic email because, I don't know, I guess they wanted people to really comply with the new base rules or something, or some shorts monetization crap. And so as explained in the previous episode, I had already agreed to all the terms of service agreements and stuff like that. So there was nothing missing. And that is why they told me, okay, you're fine, because only the people who didn't comply with these agreements were kicked out or will be kicked out. But what was so weird to me is how this email was in the past tense, as in you have been removed, as in your contract has been canceled. Past tense, this has happened. So now your monetization is going away any minute, right? That is what you think when you read an email like that. And I also told them, like, dude, can you maybe change the wording of these kinds of emails? I guess it's not just freaking out me, or maybe it is, I don't know. So that was weird, and basically the guy assured me like 20 times that everything was fine, my channel was fine, and it would continue to be monetized. As of now, I have no idea whether this is the truth or not. And again, I'm not whining about being demonetized. I mean, maybe a little bit, it's not like it feels nice, but my problem is not with that. My problem is with the way they tell you or don't tell you. There is no harm in it for them with being transparent. There's no harm in telling YouTubers just what exactly is wrong with their channel, because I bet they have a system to flag that, to like, oh, this YouTuber is making politically incorrect videos, or this person is spreading some kind of misinformation or something like that, They know. So why wouldn't they let you know? And I think transparency would actually be good for them. Because just think, how would somebody act who has a channel and the channel for some reason gets demonetized or this person gets removed from YouTube? What will they do if they just have a message and they want their message out there for people to hear it? They will just come back and make a new YouTube channel. If they're not banned for good, they're gonna come back, make a new YouTube channel, and probably they're gonna guess anyway what the problem was and just, change how they say things anyway. And I guess they are thinking like, oh, this is making it harder for people who spread misinformation or some sort of stuff. Personally, I think just give people freedom. It's opinions. It has always been opinions. The best opinions will survive. There is some sort of peer reviewing process in society everywhere anyway. There are enough people who can debunk bullshit. Let the bullshit be out there, because I think it's better to have people who spread bullshit do that publicly so everyone can see that they're idiots. I don't think that it's better to censor stuff just so you have less of it, because it'll come up somewhere anyway, or it will be worded in a way so that the algorithm doesn't pick up on it, and I don't know. Better we have a broad variety of opinions on YouTube so that people can actually interact with it, and also that these opinions can receive criticism, because that is something that will not happen if you take it off the platform. The criticism will then probably not even happen anymore. But if you have a large platform with a lot of different people, there will be beef. Being open to that is a good thing. So yeah, I think as long as you're not hurting somebody, tell your story. I don't care. So yeah, I don't think that this kind of secretiveness just helps anybody. I don't think it helps people improve their channels or comply with the rules better. Some things are just so vague that as a creator, you don't even know how to comply with these rules. You read it and you think, well, if it is so difficult to talk about topics like war or medical treatments, and I hate to break it to you, but in the medical community, there are different opinions on stuff. So when you read the requirements on certain topics or YouTube communication rules in general, as a creator, you're thinking, I don't even know how to comply with some of this stuff. Or at least I am thinking that sometimes. I don't even know. And it comes down to, well, just make non-polarizing, basically opinion-free content. Just put makeup on your face or just put out a nature vlog or something. And it leads to this flattening of the opinion spectrum, which I personally don't like. I think a public space should be a space of many different opinions. Sure, it's always good if you have like moderate, chill people in the majority, but I think that's something that will happen naturally. So yeah, my problem is with YouTube's intransparent behavior and not with me being monetized or demonetized. If my channel got demonetized now, I wouldn't even know what to do differently in the future. Maybe you can tell me, if you are watching this on YouTube, maybe you can tell me what you think their problem could be, because I certainly just don't know. I had videos demonetized randomly, and then the monetization would be put back on and everything was fine. Or also an interesting thing in YouTube. So if you're uploading YouTube videos on your phone or you uploaded them on your computer, but then you are monetizing them in your phone, in your YouTube Studio app, you can't really enter any information on how the video is rated swear word wise. Because in the desktop studio version, you can enter stuff like, like abbreviated swearing or strong use of swear words and stuff like that. YouTube then takes this into account to give you sort of like a trust score. As in, if you always answer correctly, your score goes up and you're trustworthy to them and your checks will run faster, or I don't know what this impacts. I don't really feel like it has any impact. And so I made the mistake that I uploaded a video in which I was swearing like a little bit. I might have said shit or fuck 2 times. And what happened is that I hadn't monetized the video on the YouTube Studio app because I only put it out to members first. So members always get ad-free videos from me, and then later I publish the video for everyone else so that the members have the ad-free early access version, and then later I monetize it and everyone gets the version with the ads. And in order to do that, I had to just switch on monetization, but I did it in the Studio app. And in the Studio app, you don't have these options to rate the video. So what happened is that YouTube, because it's fucking stupid, automatically assumed that this video is not containing any swear words. And what happened is that they basically flagged me for lying, and my score basically went from "you always answer this correctly" to "you mostly answer this correctly." I could literally see it in this self-assessment tab or something. I could see that it went down from always correct self-assessed to mostly. Fuck you. Sometimes I think that YouTube is a German company. Like, I have no explanation for this bullshit. Some local municipal office, they couldn't do this any better. And by better, I mean worse. Anyway, that was just a side note. Don't monetize your videos in the Studio app on your phone. Unless maybe this changes in the future, but as of now, July 2023, it has not changed. So anyway, that was it with the monetization. Nothing happened. I don't know if something will happen. I have no way of finding out whether YouTube is lying to me or not. I mean, I have all the copies of these chat conversations in writing. I had it sent to my email address. I highly recommend that. Whenever you have a conversation with the support team or on Twitter or something, at least get a screenshot of stuff that is important or have it sent to your email, because you can do that when the chat is finished. But I don't really think it'll do anything in case my channel would get demonetized after all. I know that I could file like a complaint to them and send them an email. If that happens, you can request like a personal review that is then hopefully done by a human. But as I said, it's so intransparent, you don't even know what they are looking for, you don't know what you have to look for. And if you're being demonetized, you get also this little note that basically tells you, oh, before you want to be monetized again, you know, you have to be re-audited like 3 months later, work your way up again. And they tell you, oh, maybe delete some videos, you know, we're not gonna tell you which videos we don't like, which ones are problematic, or the ones we totally misunderstood, but we really don't care about your explanation on why this video is not what we think it is, because we're not willing to put any human resources into that. So you're on your own, just delete whatever you think, delete. Not private these videos, delete them. And then maybe, you know, maybe we will remonetize your channel. Like, we don't know. Good luck. And yeah, it's this fuck you attitude that I don't like. I would be totally fine with any of this if they would just tell you the problem with this video is that it's not politically correct, or the problem with that video is that you're spreading misinformation, or the problem with that video is just too much swearing. We can't have it on YouTube because it's mean, or this video is copyright infringement or something. Anything would be helpful, just not how they're doing it right now. Anyway, I really hope this topic will be finished with this video and that I will keep my partner program tab, you know, because the channel was just growing and it felt nice. I had one video go kind of viral, which was about Linux, and it's funny because I talked about Linux elitism in this video, and to me that is the way to talk down to other people who are new to Linux, and I just don't like it. In general, I don't like it when people talk down to others, and all the other people did wrong in their opinion is like being new to the topic and having a bunch of stupid questions. If someone is arrogant about that, I totally get it, right? But I just find that in forums you often come across people that are being dicks for no reason. And that is what I was criticizing, but for some reason this was a super polarizing video to a lot of people, I think. And it wasn't really meant to be that way. I wanted it to be kind of moderate and chill, actually. I don't know, I think I didn't succeed. Anyway, it blew up and brought hundreds of new subscribers to my channel, which is a really, really cool but also weird experience, because it comes with all sorts of things, with things like criticism and just people trying to trigger you and post comments that are just nasty and weird. Also, the majority of people is like friendly, but that's like the second part of this episode. I really want to get into this because if you get a lot of comments, the ones that you will always remember are the mean ones, or the emotions you felt from reading the mean ones. And so I usually, unless they're really, really nasty and offensive, I never delete comments because I just don't give a shit. But I still remember some of the mean comments, and what irritates me most about mean comments is that it's always like, this person really doesn't want to have a debate, they just want to shit on you. And so that is something I want to pass on to you if you are just starting in your YouTube journey and stuff. Like, these people, they don't want to have a debate with you. There are some who do, but they will not word their comment in a mean way. Maybe a little bit mean, but usually if you just answer them in a fun way, they will come around, and often they will feel sorry for insulting you a little bit in the beginning, and they will come around and be like, yeah, I mean, you're right. Or they will have a debate with you. But then there are the assholes. And with the assholes, you can't argue. They are just going like, oh, crying, laughing face, or you're so stupid, and what a crybaby, stop whining, or stuff like that. And you, in that instant, you might want to be like, hey, I wasn't whining. I was trying to actually just describe a problem. And as soon as you do that, you get into a debate with somebody who is not willing to have a debate. So it's pointless. However, I also like to answer these comments. Not because I want to have the last say in it, or because I want to stick it to them or something. I'm just interested in what the fuck is going on in these people's heads. Like, sometimes I'm just wondering, like, dude, what's your problem? Who hurt you? What? Because I feel like people on the internet, they might hide behind these pictures and weird handles, but there's some guy sitting there who was really unhappy with his life. And that's an assumption I believe is 90% true. And like the 10% of them, they are just having a shitty day and they just didn't like your face or something. And I understand that people don't like my face and think my face is stupid. I come across people that I think look stupid and annoying all the time. So I think that's fine. And if you find someone just off-putting and annoying, well, personally, I would just stop watching it. I don't have to leave a comment and be a dick and say like, hey, you're stupid. It's just not worth my time. But there are people who value their own time so little that I think their time is worth typing that kind of stuff. So that's really interesting to me. I would really, on a level of psychology and just scientific interest, I would really like to meet some of these people and see what is going on with them. Because I had that in political events a lot, that people were just bitching about stuff. And usually they claim that the other person does the exact same thing they're criticizing that person for, which is such a cliche. And some of them also just had mean parents or mean teachers, I don't know. Anyway, this podcast is about, creator life or just making it on YouTube, publishing stuff, growing as a person. So that's why I wanted to end this podcast on that note. Because I am trying, and that is a new approach I have, because in general, I'm more like a little bit of a depressed person. I don't often have the energy to put up with people's bullshit, so usually I just ignore anything that isn't like resonating with me. But recently I've been trying to just give these people back something different, as in either I make a joke or I ask them a question. And I don't care if they think I'm stupid or I'm sucking up to them for some reason. I really don't care. And that has been a cool lesson for me, I have to say, because just turning around some nastiness and just making light of it, I think that is just the ultimate way to being chill and happy, like in life. Not just on YouTube, but in life. That if you cannot joke about it, don't answer that comment. If you cannot take something positive out of that comment, even the nastiest one, just ignore them. And don't be like passive aggressive. Don't give them back like, oh, you seem like a poor little bully. Like, have you had it super hard in your life, you poor little thing? I mean, yeah, sometimes I write like, oh, who hurt you? But I mean that in a sincere way, as in I think that some of these people maybe they really felt hurt. Maybe they really had a shitty day. It's the comment section. Just tell me about it if you can't afford therapy. Like, it's fine. That's what the comment section is here for. Commenting, life, opinions, everything. It just pushes out my video anyway. So thanks. And another thing is that I also try to learn from bigger YouTubers. As in, how do they go about criticism? Because in large YouTube channels, those creators, they don't have time for bullshit. They don't have time for stuff that isn't giving them inspiration or a good valid point of criticism. And a good valid point of criticism can always be brought up in a respectful way. If it's nasty, of course, that doesn't mean the point is not valid. It just means that the comment might not be motivated by that valid reason. It means that the comment might be coming from that person being just unhappy or having a shitty day. And that's not a good reason to post a comment. It's also not a good reason to answer to that kind of comment. So when I am in a bad mood, I will not answer comments. I will only answer comments when I'm in a good mood. And I remember, again, Peter McKinnon, one of the YouTubers I cite a lot on this podcast, I think. There is no particular reason for that, by the way. It's just that it came to mind. He said in one podcast interview or something, he said that he always remembers the nasty comments, like you have 1,000 positive ones, but one is like shitty, and you remember that one. And that is just so true. That is how our brains work. And I do think this is sad. It pisses me off too. I don't want to be like that. I want to be like, oh, whatever, and then forget about it. But for some reason, you can't. Then you are like, well, is this person now actually sticking it to me because I can't forget their nasty crap? Even if I want to, and even if I think about it, I don't really care about it. It just pisses me off that somebody is being nasty to me for no good reason. They don't even have a good explanation for it. They don't have a good point, and they just don't see it. And I won't take the time to argue with them because it's pointless, but it still pisses me off, right? Just like somebody cuts you off or is being mean in real life for no reason, is giving you shit, and you're like, why are you doing this? Why, dude? I've done nothing to you. You could have said that in a nice way. This is a them problem. It's not a you problem. It's a them problem. But they make it yours. And that is the thing that will never go away. It will never go away. There is no cure for it. The only thing, in my opinion, that helps a little bit is if you are happy about your content. Like, you are genuinely happy with your content and how you did stuff. And then the criticism doesn't really touch you. Because for me, it is like that. If I have a video and I know there are a few flaws in it, because I don't have a lot of time to edit this stuff. And I will leave out stuff. I cannot comment everything. I cannot put additional info on the screen all the time. Sometimes I'm just tired and I want to get my kid and myself to bed. And there are people who just can't get over a single sentence that doesn't resonate in a whole video that did. And you can't help these people and they can't help you. And so for me, even though I'm overall okay with my content, I am not super happy and I don't think that everything I do is awesome. So that is why when I get criticized, I think, yeah, maybe that person has a point. And so what I do to not have this emotion linger somewhere is I usually just put it out there. And if someone is right, even in a nasty comment, and saying like, oh, you sound like you're saying this and that's all crap, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I think you're kind of right about that. I'm gonna change that next time. Because I don't want to be like, well, you could have said that in a different way. You didn't have to be a dick about it. Like, why are you being so mean? Like, I try not to do that. I've done that in the past and it didn't help me get over myself or stupid comments. So I don't recommend that. I recommend sometimes just give people what they want, because that is how they shut up fastest. Like, if you say you're right, that's how they shut up. And you will not be bothered anymore. And again, it's not about showing them the door. It's not about being a dork yourself. It's about the person criticizing you for something, even if it pisses you off. If they are right, it's okay. It doesn't hurt you to say that. On the contrary. So that is some exercise for me. And that is why I enjoy actually getting a lot of comments, even though it's kind of stressful. And I also feel bad about not being able to answer all the positive ones. And I try to answer the positive ones first, but I also want to keep it balanced. So I try to answer positive and negative ones. Just so you know, the positive comments, I answer them first, because I think these people, they often took the time out of their day to write a paragraph, write something nice and appreciative, and I know that if somebody is writing a comment, that is like the highest form of appreciation for a channel, for somebody's work, and that is just so nice, because I don't earn a lot with these videos, but that comment, that is like just somebody, you know, when you walk across the street, you're wearing a nice dress, like not a black cheap hoodie like me right now. You're wearing a nice dress, you're looking good, you have your hair done, and somebody's like, hey, looking good today, and you're like, thanks. Like, I'm not gonna be like catcalling, like, don't catcall me. I'm gonna be like, I'm taking it. Even if that person is slightly creepy and it's gonna be, ooh, sexy lady, I'm gonna be like, yeah, sexy lady, you. Gotta be honest. I'm always that kind of person who's like taking the compliment. I don't care how sleazy it is. I'm close to 40. If looking at me makes some construction worker happy, I'm gonna let them be happy. Anyway, that's it. Have a nice day and enjoy your YouTube comments.